Hello and welcome to Trenta, 30-something conversations with 30-somethings and the 30-something else. It's not Women's Month, but I wanted to celebrate the stories of four of my dear friends who also happen to be strong, independent women. So this is sort of like
Wow.
a flip version of our third episode with Brent and Inting, because now I have with me fab ladies who continue to touch lives in ways they may not even know. So without further ado, here are Telay, Clang, Guada, and Teklo. Hello.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi.
Hi,
listeners.
Tan. Hi. Hi, Ma.
Hi, Ma. Hello to all the titas, as in the legit OG titas.
The real tita.
Oh
Okay,
my
so
God.
before we begin, may I ask you guys to give your ASL? Who wants to start?
Ate Clang.
Sige.
I volunteer
Isa
Ate
na
Clang.
mo talay. Okay, ASL, Clang, age 30, female, now in Taguig City, Metro Manila.
All right.
All right.
Goding?
Okay, my name is Guada, 31 years old, female, from Vancouver, British Columbia.
Wow.
Lagi. Ang nagpo-post.
Tel?
Hi, I'm Krystel. Telay, or Tel for short. 31 and in Los Angeles, SoCal. Yay.
All right.
SoCal.
And last but not the least, Ate Chloe.
Hi, Chloe, 31, female, Manila/Cebu.
All right. Yay. Thank you, guys.
Naka-
Okay, my first question is, you're all scattered around the Philippines, and then we have a North American chapter. How old were you when you moved away from home? Moved out of Cebu.
I think Clang was the first. So Clang.
Nag-compute. Nag-compute pa. I'm not sure if I'm the first, pero I moved to Manila 2017. So more, yeah, 17, 18. Yeah, so more than 3 years. 2017. I think nauna pa yata mo, guys.
Oh, I thought for a while
Oh.
na-assign ka dito earlier than that.
No,
Ako
just a little over 3 years, yeah.
I think ako di ay. So yeah, I moved 23 when I was 23 years old, 2012 to to the US. And then yeah, my dad has been working here for a while, so he brought me in. Yeah, the struggles of immigrating.
True,
But it was an awkward age, but at the same time, where I go inside character building in a sense, because you were like after college, and then
fresh out of college.
yeah, and then I thought I had things planned, but then things happen, and then you just got to wing it in that very sense. Moto.
You, Goding, how old? Diba recently lang sad?
Yeah, it was last August 2016. I waited for my mom's operation. So when everything was okay na, so that was the time na I moved to Canada. Because it was supposedly earlier than that. Magduwan ta mi sa akong kuya from his vacation. And then, muna siya. Things just happen. So,
Ate Chloe, you?
Ako sad. Moved to Manila 2015. So I was like 27. So mga mid-20s, late 30, mga late 20s na. So, yeah.
So what was the transition like? I think Telay started to talk about it a bit. So Tel, would you care to begin? Especially since you were early 20s pa lang.
Yeah. It was guess the correct word for my experience, especially, it was very jarring because it was very unexpected. And then I don't know. I was okay. We're dark side neighborhood. Obviously, it was kind of depressing because like you're very lost, and then we're feeling mo stagnate. Um, it wasn't geographically wise. Los Angeles, like Cebu, comparing to Los Angeles or U.S. in general, where I think whoever listens, okay, we're I think like especially the foreigners, they always like think Philippines is a very third world. Like namoy Korean they don't ask that, but they almost I for sure know they kind of like wonder if all areas do have like whatever amenities, diba, that are available here in the US. So Cebu was very compact compared to Los Angeles, which was very wide everywhere. Like in Cebu, you could almost like always explain everywhere is like 15, 25 to 30 minutes away without traffic, diba? Dili, you even though you have friends, you could hardly meet them because like everywhere is so far away. Every locale has a different like function in that sense. Yeah, kung mulabang ko to somewhere like even within Los Angeles County, it will take time going to and fro. Yeah, it was just I think that was kind of like the biggest adjustment lang, and you can't go anywhere while like public transport, so I had to learn how to drive. So it's like little things like that that are more on a logistic standpoint. But in that sense, I think like with like malls and everything, like just the urban life, it's more or less the same. It's just like the culture is different, but but I guess that level of like entertainment is obviously LA is a hub for like Hollywood and everything, but I think it's still like it has that same vibe, I think.
What about you, Guading?
Well, for me, it wasn't easy. Well, I think it's not easy, Manjud. Every person, siguro, that would move away from the comforts of home. It was my first time to be away from my parents. And to be honest, when I was in the Philippines, I was kind of dependent. Even if I do things on my own, murag, I had that mindset that my parents are gonna save me if mabulilyas or something. But this time, when I moved, murag, I'm on my own. Although my brother is here, but I have to do things on my own. And I had a different transition, I could say, because I lived with my tito's family. It's different because I had to adjust to them. Murag, I live with them. They kind of helped me with let's say with the transportation. It was my first time also na ako lang mag go to places. So I had to download Google Maps. Di rin ako kailangan ng mga apps actually. And then, I had to adjust good like cooking, which I wasn't so used to cook good back in the Philippines. I was, but then kinda naanad na lang, and then karon murag normal thing na lang siya. Just mag-cook for myself, and do the laundry.
Actually, when I was there, in fairness to Guada, when I visited her, she would always cook breakfast. Just
wow.
My specialty.
Rare. I expected breakfast whenever we visit me.
Sure.
What about you, Teklo?
Okay, ever since kanang ganahan na jud kong wanted to try to be on my own. So this was my choosing, good. So when I got the opportunity to work in Manila, so all in good go say go like wala pagduwa-duwa sige. And so Ako sa more introvert bitaw ko. So I'm used to like being alone and doing things on my own, and so like being on my own wasn't dili ka siya. I mean, moving to Manila wasn't really a big adjustment, and then especially naasa mo there, like so they will like I need people there, so like dili jud kay ko ingnon na like, ako ra usa, so like naamo the brand and thing. So naaghapoy more siguro like sense of family. So like so more like in short um yeah.
You
And so
welcomed your
yeah,
freedom.
yeah, actually so um oh
What
it
about you?
wasn't
Sorry, go ahead.
sige go sige okay lang go lang more to.
Check lang.
Um, I think, well, to start, I think it was never a part of my plans to move elsewhere. I
Mm.
think, I mean, like Cebu has everything, diba? Complete
Mm-hmm.
siya, and you can actually like live there forever. But
Mm-hmm.
I guess with the work, um, in terms of opportunity, if you really want to like develop your career, there's more opportunity good in Manila. So it wasn't
True.
a part of my plan. I think the difficult part was deciding if yes or no.
Mm.
I wasn't afraid of the life that's coming if mag Manila ko, but it's more of is this the right decision, something like that, because
Mm-hmm.
um that would mean kasi na parang you give in to that opportunity in Manila, and if you want to develop some more, meaning diri na gyud ka mo develop sa imong career, so there will be less
Yeah.
chances to go
Go
back.
back.
Mm.
Yeah, so something like that. Um and also maybe making sure na what I was leaving behind was my mom manggod that time.
Mm.
So I made sure na she was all in also, cause lisod kaayo na kanang murag mingamon di ay siya and all. So thankfully, I think alpha mom man siya and game ra siya na I think she was excited na maybe when she goes to Manila na siya
Mm.
place to stay and all. I think she was excited. She wasn't that sad. So it made the decision easier na
Mm.
she was also all in. And then in terms of adjusting here, I'm sure you know it's pretty much the same as Cebu. It's just bigger. I think the adjustment is more of it's bigger. There are more cars in the road and bigger cars like buses, trucks. You have more establishments to go to. Um, what else pa ba? It's kind of a little bit more expensive. Mga stuff like that lang siguro. But I think that's very minimal because it's pretty much the same as Cebu. And same with Teklo, na being an introvert, I'm comfortable or being alone. So siguro on that end, not much adjustment.
Mm. What's
I
the
have
least?
to insert.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry.
Go
I
go go.
have to insert the I think Guada will have the same adjustments at the I case at the Clang talked about expenses. I think Guada and I also had that change of the currency. Na mo confused.
Yeah.
And I don't have a sense of what's expensive or not because like everything for me is expensive, but at the same time
Oh.
like in your head like oh I won't think about it pero nga dili expensive so mag overshoot sa gas so may nasa mahal na money for that thing it's like well, okay. But yeah,
No.
go PP.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what's the least thing you like about living on your own, far from home, or what's the most challenging part of it?
Hmm. Ako?
Sige, go.
Okay, I'll start. Okay, so I think I had the same experience with Guada. So I also lived with my aunt's family basically at first because
Yeah.
yeah, so from living in a very small nuclear form of family. My mom, and my dad, and then basically just me and my mom most of the time because my dad was away. And then being placed into a family. Even sa sila, the good thing was they respected my space for sure, but it was very different to like have your time management also be affected by other factors as beside yourself for a change. So you have to adjust like, oh, this is their Sunday schedule, we'll go to mass and then we'll go to the groceries after. So instead of having that normal weekend, you already lose that day in a sense, you know?
That's true.
But I think that was one of the it wasn't really bad, but it was just, how do you say it was different and difficult at the same time because you're not used to that routine, and then when you get home you also have duties, diba? And I mean, I was used to like doing all the chores. It's just not on a schedule per se, and it wasn't like assigned to you. It's a different feeling.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, you do this, and then you know what I mean, like rather than doing things like willingly on your time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with that line, no? Um, there are times, good, let's say, with dinner or with eating, kailangan we're complete. Something like that. And then I'm not
Exactly.
used to that because even if I live with my parents back in the Philippines, they give me the freedom to eat on my own. They let me sleep in the morning. But it's okay not to eat with them. That part I had to adjust as well. That's why maybe I gained weight. I really have to eat with them.
It's
Ba?
true though.
Just kidding. Pero possible na murag isa sa to sa factor siguro because maka-pressure sad no na murag pakanunjug ka if they're eating. And then for me, that wasn't the most challenging part. For me was akong outlet when I'm stressed. Because back in the Philippines, it was so easy to go out with your friends on weekends.
True.
That part good murag murag jugog nakalitan na I'm just at home alone. Well, not really alone because my brother is there, but then di biya Mika vibes and all that.
Shout out.
Really?
So we're baguhan gyud ko. That's why I always say good na rehab ko here. We're kana akong i-joke yeah, cause kana gyud na part, and for me very important na for me, especially ako na tabian kay ko, I'm really used to socialize. That part good I really had to adjust. And then right now, although I have adjusted, but still may tagihapon ko no, like a circle like the higalas, because ganahan ko nga na exchange of ideas ang mga higalas. I
Yeah.
haven't found a circle here pag yun na same
That's
as
so
the higalas.
That's true.
No.
That's true.
That's so true.
Okay. Intellectually stimulating kayo, charot. Ang exchange of
Wow.
ideas ba?
I have
Yeah,
to I
sakto
have to
gid na.
second I have to second that like I think like aside from, I think it's more common in the Philippines. Observation lang niya. Like I don't know if it's a cultural thing, pero there's a level of friendship na wala here. Like you could casually say hi to everyone and be kind to everyone, like, but it's a very it's more surface value. Siya nga. It's not as in depth or lam ang doot, but as Guada has mentioned.
Oh.
What about you, Teklo?
For me, opposite sad sa ilahan. Ako asad more time on my hands. So wasn't at first mo rin overwhelmed ko kay, oh my god, unsa akong buhaton ani na adlaw, like unsa pa ako lain madu. So like we struggle ko at first, like unsa pa, like unsa ang expectations ba, like do I have to be productive, like unsa akong like do I do this or that, like so like we're in a way na we're like bahala na lang mo magkuha na lang mo like slack off na lang ko and all, and then pressure ko sa kay mo tanang mga tao, usually office mates na. And what do you do on your free time or weekends? Like, matulog.
That's still productive.
Yeah,
Yeah, true.
Pero still, I mean, as I said, like sa akong self-centered word, what should I be doing more? Yeah, so wala siya yeah, for me.
Ate Clang?
I think, yeah, valid in yung points. But for me, siguro akong ma-think top of mind is chores.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
kay living with someone else before, I mean, ang moms kay expert ba sila in doing things. Like, if may aberya in like your clothes or if may aberya in some other stuff at home, expert sila on that one. So, living alone, I had to clean the whole house, including the CR, for example. I had to tend to my laundry, and I mean, like, I did my laundry before, pero it's not like this time. Like, ako na tanan yun.
Yeah.
As in, so, I think more of chores. I'd say I know how to do these things, but I'm not an expert in doing these things. So, thankfully, there's a lot of third party naman that you can tap. So, there's people who can clean your house. Siguro I call them once a month or once every 2 months if I feel na I need professional help in cleaning the house. And then there's self-service laundry, so it's easier and quicker. Food, at first I seldom cook good, as in, so well, there's always takeout and drive through. So I think that's the biggest challenge for me.
On the flip side, what's the best part of living on your own?
Should I start?
We can keep this.
I know. So I think it wasn't really living on my own in a sense. Which was the upside for this part. I think it was the location, like Los Angeles. Like, yeah, even though Los Angeles can make you feel sad, despite being the sunniest place on earth, siguro, or something. It also, I think it stimulated, like, the area stimulated my drive for, like, the culture. I think, like, because it's so diverse at sa Summer. It was a nice change of pace that I think. But yeah, I think it presented a nice, like, refresh button in my life in that sense, that even though it was not exactly welcomed or planned, it also represented that things could be okay in that sense. But yeah.
Goding?
For me, I learned a lot good. There were really a lot of problems. I went through a lot with my nursing plus my PR, my permanent residency processing. There were a lot of down moments, plus I had an accident, with that involved the fire, the sprinkler. I can really say I hit rock bottom good when I started here. And then I grew. I learned a lot from my experiences. I became stronger. I can say. Yeah. I remember my mom telling me that good, na bilib ko nimo kay strong kay ka. What I told her was that I have no other option but to be strong. Where the truth is, the reason why I'm really strong is that I saw my mom mom cried. My mom cried when I called her about the accident, no. And the pain yun was times two when I saw her cry. That's why I really have to be strong. Kay, I don't wanna call them again, telling them another bad news. Kay sakit ka on my part to see them disappointed. Ano. So I really have to be strong. Strongest na kay ko friend.
True.
So proud of you, Guads.
Yeah.
Thank you
What
guys.
about you, Teklo?
Respect.
Um, okay. Sorry, least? No,
The
least.
best part.
Best part. Um, okay. Okay, for me, sad. Being on my own. um, uh, okay, introvert gid ko at heart. So, I rarely go out, no, and like, I always go out here in Cebu, pero, sa when I moved out, like, na-embrace gid nako ang like myself being on my own. Um, I got to know myself better. Yeah, so mo na ang like best part for me. So like more means I get to spend time with myself. Maybe selfish siya or what, pero like yeah, I got to know myself, like asa akong limits,
That's
uh
true.
unsa akong mga ganahan. Yeah, so muna akong key takeaway dyan. I mean, yeah, na-appreciate being away.
Ate
Yeah.
Clang?
Ako, well, same with Teklo na being an introvert, the upside is being in control of your
Yes.
time and what you want to do. So, like, I look forward to weekends and think na, unsa na sad ako buhaton this weekend? What movie should I watch? Or what YouTube video should I binge? And then I make sure na my weekends are very ano ba, very, it makes me very relaxed. So yun, very in control of your time, and most of the time, yeah, I don't mind being alone. So for me, like, driving is therapeutic food. So on weekends, I go around, I drive around, I go to malls. I don't mind walking around the mall alone. I don't mind watching a movie alone.
That's so
So
true.
I I enjoy that part na I get to decide what I want to do, especially on weekends.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I remember when I was still in Manila, si Ate Clang na dyan na siya schedule like on the weekends. Mag-laundry, mag-mani-pedi.
Yeah.
Massage, self-care, Saturday and
True.
Funny is again, you mentioned siya about doing stuff on your own. Like, I think the first thing said nga, signified that I was in LA was going to a concert on my own. I know it sounds weird, but it was so fulfilling for me. Like, it was Ed Sheeran. He was so low key that time. I think he barely had an LP out, but it was so liberating that, oh my gosh, this is like my first concert out, and it was by myself.
Oh my gosh, I feel you. Barkada kita now. Same with and Sheeran. I was so kidding.
I know. I was like,
By
I was alone. I was
myself.
like, bahala. Yeah, I know.
All by myself. Because that's the thing. We haven't found probably somebody, but then we can go na same taste probably with music.
Yeah, it's very different. Yeah. I have friends, but you could never like just invite them like for certain things. I think like you categorize them into what you could invite them to.
Good thing for me here in Manila kay naa si Ate Clo.
Yes.
Ako sad. Katasad time na silang page.
Yeah, like you people appreciate the same kind of music and stuff like that.
And who indulge your mga stalker tendencies.
Yeah.
Ah,
Funny kayo
Fangirl.
Yeah, fangirl moments.
Funny kayo gatong that when ni Ari ang ni ato ang YouTube sa Manila si Clang na uh, nang kumautan na kay enable kay kustanan na.
I-indulge siya yun ko ni Teklo in stalking you too. So, thanks, Klo, for being supportive.
Okay, we're good.
I wanted to ask something medyo light or medyo a bit more personal. What's the dating scene like? Or let's say, because you're for the girls abroad, are you drawn to Filipinos still, or maybe Cebuanos in particular? Or at this point, wala na may pake? Or even for those in Manila or based in Manila? Anyone can start. Goding, I would like to ask Goding. Sige.
why
Lagi,
me?
kay mo man yung like Instagram or FB
Official.
Wow. Wag ka tong peak of the COVID crisis. I was so bored, and my friends were so pushy na you download the lagi Bumble or whatever. I tried lang with my roomie. Wala, lingaw lang. But then, magsiraming panaway. Hello, yun sa mali or ana. But then, na mga Pinoy rigid siguro gihapon akong gusto. Specifically yun sa Cebuano kay, I don't know, mas mag-click when it comes to sense of humor, maybe. But then, don't get me wrong, magkasinabot kami sa akong naka-chat, maybe na, I don't know, I think Chinese to siya. But then, lahi yun ang feeling, and I'm afraid to meet him in person. I don't know. Because I haven't tried, or I'm not that confident pa. I don't know. So, di pa ako makaingon sa kanang online dating na part. But then, I would want na Cebuano or gihapon. Unfortunately, I haven't found one yet. There are a lot of Filipinos here, mga Ilocano, I think, kasagaran here in Vancouver. But then, di mag-click friend. When it comes to like, when you talk about topics, lisod, I don't know, it's really hard.
Ikaw, Teklo.
In other words, I haven't found yet.
Oh my God,
Yes,
Teklo.
Oh
Yes,
my gosh,
I want to hear this.
Basig na nasa siya
Okay,
pasapos nila takibaw.
Lagi mo nag-wait ko just in
not
case.
really a priority good for me. So ever since na we move out, I haven't been actively looking. And I so very wary to go about like apps. So muna kanang ako as ang problema kay how to expand my circle kay dili kay ko ing anak ka risk taker. So like people I know ra gyud. So yeah, so munang single ra gyapon karon. Pero like in terms of like types, yeah, I think mas mo prefer sa gid ko og sa Cebuano kay language barrier lang daan. And then yeah, pero Manila people sad kay okay sad diya sila, nothing against them, pero lahi lang gyud ang like makaingon ka like atong own like Cebuano.
Dako kay nod ni Paige dito. I just noticed.
Clang?
Well, same with Teklo na I'm traditional
Mm.
man good. So
Mhm.
um yeah, I'm not into apps and I don't like people always say no na try to expand your circle of friends and try to um go out some more, but I don't know if I don't want to effort on that end, or I'm scared to do
Mm.
those things. Okay, as of now, I just like the people I encounter are from the office or from church or you guys, come mga friends. So kana lang sila na people, and I really I don't know if I don't want to try or I'm just scared to
Mm.
try those things.
Mm.
And honestly, um yeah, siguro being traditional, no, nothing against people na try those ways of looking for a date. I think um taas na ang success story of
Mm.
those,
True.
but
Yeah.
I think I think close gihapon ko to that right now. And honestly, like when I think about it though, like when I daydream of my plans in the next 5, 10 years, sometimes I miss out the part na what if I get married, or what if I meet someone? Kay,
Mm.
like I plan my future na it's as if um with my current state in na.
Mm.
So um I'm since I don't effort also, maghulat ra gyud ko nga na mo abot, which is siguro bad, but I'm comfortable that way man.
Mm.
So um siguro in the future I'm still okay being single, not being hypocrite no, but of course it's so much better, it's so much nice to have someone.
Mm.
But if
Mm.
wala gyud, I think I'll be able to work it out on my own.
True. Mm.
Love it.
I
Yeah,
remember
Strong, independent
but
woman.
syempre, kung na mo abot, of course, why not?
I remember when Clang visited in here in California with Mabs. She was like, "Oh, I'll get married on this date." She did it to a date, Clang. She had to get a
Oh
specific
my
date for
gosh,
her wedding.
daghan na kay kong dates na na-set. So, maybe ang next would be, hindi, nilabay na sa date.
Yun siya nga. I have the date while I groom. Ano.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I prepared na gyud. Like, ready na tanan. Groom na lang wala. Pero yeah, that's it.
What about you, Tal?
Before I answer, how about you, Paige?
Wait, I'm gonna ask the question.
You've also been a Miss
Tables have
Independent
turned.
Yeah.
Oo,
page.
Jud.
Applicable man siya
Yes.
to you.
You have to be included in this narrative.
Sabuka. Well, okay, maybe as the type, no. I would say now when I first moved to Manila back in 2006, I was really medyo close-minded. I didn't really want to date like non-Cebuanos. But then over time, of course, we
Mm.
developed friendships and different relationships with different people. So mas mo expand imong perspective, and you find that it's not it's not as it's not as different as you think it seems. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I no longer have that bias, or I no longer favor Cebuanos over, like, let's say, those from Manila. Yung nana. Yeah.
Open-minded.
I love it.
Open-minded ka, Besh.
Uh, for here, I think for okay, so I'll just categorize like all the non-Filipinos and the Filipinos. For
Yeah.
the Filipinos, I think I prefer the one that were born not specific to any Cebuano bar,
Mm-mm.
Manil boy ba, or yeah, Konyo boy bar, whatever. I think I think it's they're Filipinos are just like innately more charming when they're from here rather than who were born and raised here. I feel like most of them who were born and raised here, or I think, and I Nintag doon si Guada, I assume, and Canada too, or
So
in any
extra.
other.
I think we had this conversation.
Yeah,
also,
exactly.
with you.
I think
Yeah.
I think it's also like a thing too, because of like the diaspora, the Bumrag. They never really have an identity as much as the Filipinos who really grew up in the Philippines. So they always have like either Pinoy na super whitewash or Pinoy na super hip. I like super hip hopper or something, diba? Who's like very tacky or whatever. So you understand what I mean? So and that I guess there's that, and then for non-Filipinos, I think there's also this attraction that they offer a fresh like experience,
Yeah.
because of course like what matters more to you also have a different weight in their culture of how they were brought up. Like it's always different, like especially in LA, like even like little differences in counties, lahi ang ilahang.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to explain it, but you understand like, oh, he's such a valley boy, he's like it's different. So I think there's like yeah, it's very like, oh, this is very Venice of him, like something like that. So it's always like, but this is not just like California specific. I think like I've heard like things about different about West Coast boys and East Coast boys about like there's different like weight in artistry or something, like I think like that. And I also said koan about online dating. Jill has been pressuring me and then has been threatening to like make me an account, and I can't, dude. Like I think I'm like, oh, di mo ko conservative per se, but I've treasured like knowing people in the circle at least.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have it doesn't have to be like, oh, super close friend and someone will introduce me to someone. It could be by chance, but I'd rather have this like one-on-one interaction first rather than, oh, like let's, because anything you could say anything through like digitally, like through a text or a chat. It could mean very different, like diba ang presentation is very like tapaw, as you say. Basta and yeah, that's it.
Lovely. I wanted to talk about also timelines and turning 31 for Clang or 32 for the rest of us. Do you feel, I also asked Inting and Brent this, do you feel any pressure? Well, they're married, but for us who aren't married, do you feel any pressure to get married or to have kids soon? Especially because, as they say, our biological clock is ticking. So has the thought of freezing eggs even come to mind? Or
this
do you
is very binibining Filipinas question. Do you feel any pressure right now?
feel any pressure right now? And how do you deal with it? Maybe we can start with Clang.
That's an easy one.
Fixed it.
In terms of having kids, I honestly, number one option ako is to not have any kids.
Yeah. I think we also talked about this.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. I don't mind not having kids. Paano ba? I think in a very lame reason, I think I will not live that long, and I don't want to leave my kids. No, matay ko or what. So I don't know. I don't know if it's being irresponsible, but I don't want to risk lang maybe them having a bad life. So I'd rather like enjoy myself and maybe my husband in the future. So there's no really pressure in like having kids soon. But if, for example, if I marry someone na would want to have kids, well, that's a conversation that we need to have. I mean, it's not 100% close to that one, pero that's the first option. And in terms of getting married, well, that's what I said earlier din, na parang it's really nice to have. I would want to have a husband someday, but if wala, I think I'll try to manage on my own.
You, Teklo.
Same good with Clang, same sentiments. Yeah, I don't want that I don't want kids, son. Pero like if I do get married and all, and he wants children, then maybe I would consider that option. Pero right now there's really no pressure.
Mm.
Um, Also, sa akong family side wala reason sila yung I mean, they don't mind. So, what, so my friends, someone said like, there's no really pressure set from you guys. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, wala.
It's so interesting because I think it takes a lot of courage to say out loud, no, na you don't want to have kids, especially in a society
Yeah,
that expects
Yes.
women to have kids by a
very
certain
true.
age. So, like, I'm so in awe of your courage. Yeah.
I actually want to bring up said I think your past podcast with your lawyer friends that there's this expectation before we were fighting for like the rights as a woman to do certain things, and now at this age and millennia they just expect us to do everything,
Everything. Yeah.
succeed in like your career and be a mother,
Mm.
because like they classify that as your class duty, diba? But yeah, that's the I think one name where the contrast right now. And like sa ako ang side, it's obviously night pressure ni Myrna. Hi Myrna.
Oh
Shout
yeah.
out to Tita Myrna.
Because like obviously I think it's the common concerns of the mom, like, oh, you have to have this age, well I could still take care of them if I have the chance to or something like, and like it's touching in a sense, but they I think at some point they also understand na I have like still goals set up for myself, and um but it's a weird thing because I actually could see myself more having a kid than it scares me more to get married than to have a kid. Like I feel like
Mm.
having a kid is not really like something you could say you're ready for. If it happens, diba? And you just try to do your best along the way. But yeah, I think there's no like super pressure naman, but yeah, that's it.
Mm.
You, Guading.
Well, for me, that's actually a very common topic after somebody would ask you how old you are, and then you're not in a relationship yet, and then moabot din the ana na topic. Well, for me, I really want to have kids. The thing is, I want my kids to have a father because there are some now they just want to have kids, and I feel like in my point of view, I feel like that's very selfish because namanggoy uban like those who did not grow up with a father na murag na something kulang. But I feel like that's my point of view, um I don't want to have kids just because I want to have kids, but of course I want
Mm-hmm.
my kids to have parents like complete to grow up with a complete family kanang inana ba, but di man gyud na malikayan if di na gyud healthy a relationship and all that, but that's what I want. And I've also thought of freezing my eggs, honestly, at the age of 34. Nag-research
Mhm.
yung ko na diri.
Game
For
gods.
real?
Yeah, for real. um Kana lang, my parents want to have an apo na gyud,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't feel any pressure because di ko gan maahat kana ging,
Yeah.
diba?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Just
I don't
because
want to.
So
that's it.
true. And like, don't get married just to settle down. Just because
Exactly.
Yeah.
True.
you reach a
True.
certain age, and then whoever na lang you're in a relationship with
Mm-hmm.
at that time, mo settle
Yeah.
na lang ka, diba?
That's what they would say because choosy daw or taas
Mm-hmm.
og standards mer inana ba. I mean, what's wrong mo di ay if choosy ka? I
Oo,
think we
yeah.
have to really choose, 'di ba?
No.
it's your life. You have to live
Correct.
with that, with your choice. Diba?
It's
So,
so true. That's the
yeah.
thing, yeah. You have to live with that.
Mm.
So I'm down to my final question. Pang Miss Universe again.
Wow.
Who or what to you is an independent woman? Choice.
Um, I need 5 hours to process.
Same.
Anyone who wants to start?
I think Guada. I volunteer. Like, at least you can volunteer some for someone else.
Okay, I'll go first. For
Go,
me,
go.
an independent woman is somebody who could bounce back after all the problems, all the troubles and disappointments. I mean, yeah, that independent woman can cry um for a day or a night, but then she could bounce back to herself or put her crown back, you know,
Mm.
and keep going. Learn and keep
Oh,
going.
lovely. Ate
Charot.
Clang?
Oh my gosh, Kalisod. Uh, Siguro, an independent woman is someone who who has who has life figured out. It might not be like literally being alone or um being away from people, but it
Mm.
means that you figured out how to navigate with your life.
Mm.
It might mean tapping other people, but it means that you have set your own direction and you found a way on how to do it. So basically something like that. You've got life figured out for
Mm.
yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Ate Chloe?
Oh my gosh, it's so hard. Pero like, ang first thing will come to mind is Neo's song. So
Miss
basically,
Independent.
Diba?
yeah,
Yes.
basically,
Actually, there ako
that
nag-base
really
sa
rings
title, Chas.
true. Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
really rings true. No, can like live stand on her own. Like doesn't need like a man or something or um um like what Kang said like can navigate through life seamlessly or what. Yeah, so yeah, that's it for me.
Tell.
Letter D, all of the above.
quiz quiz night. Trivia night today.
I I think yeah, I'll just encapsulate what everyone has said. I think like an independent woman doesn't necessarily have to do certain things to validate herself or to validate society's expectation of you. You don't have to always be in control. If things go wrong, you don't have to punish yourself. You have that. I think that is like one certain thing you it's so hard, it's easy to say but it's so hard to learn. Like you make mistakes along the way, but then it becomes an experience where it teaches you to grow to be a better person, like personal growth yun siya. And I think I always believe in that saying na you were given this life because you're strong enough to live it. So
Aww.
whatever challenges that's
That's
thrown your
nice.
way, yeah, so I think yeah, especially on like the years that I had so many struggles here, so I feel like I have to attest to that. Like if you thought now things are so like as Guada has experienced, or I bet in any point of our lives had hit
Mm.
rock bottom, like there's always, you always just have to bounce back. Yeah.
True.
True.
E to the
True.
man.
Agree.
Capital Queen
Thanks
with a
so much.
capital K.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've always considered myself so lucky to be surrounded by such
Oh,
beautiful
likewise.
women. And you four
Same.
have definitely reminded me and shown me how yeah, beautiful it is to be Miss Independent. Chos. So thanks, guys. I'll stop
Thank you
recording,
for
but
having us.
yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.